What we will be hunting going forward from the next year is some ways to mitigate the hostility, because yeah, we have like an option to burn some coal, but it's very limited and we don't have enough wood to spend it on sacrificing. So this hearth will be kind of a solution for us for this year specifically, but from there on we need some alternative options to, well, counter the hostility levels that we are reaching. We still have 4 homeless. That's because all the builders are busy at the moment. All the cabbage is being delivered. Also, we're gathering some herbs, so whenever we assign some worker to the makeshift post, we'll also be able to make some packs of provisions and do some trading. Looking forward to getting the next recipe, because some complex food options would be nice. We are not yet high enough level to unlock the field kitchen, I believe, so we'll have to do without it for the time being. Okay, so how many cabbages are remaining, or vegetables? They look like cabbages, right? So still a bunch. It's getting kinda close, and okay, my question is also, what does the hearth need? The bricks. We don't have the bricks. No. Okay, so yeah, the more I think about it, seems like hearth number 2 is not gonna be a thing at the moment. The trader is too far away to provide us with bricks. The reed fields are gone, so we'll just destroy this harvester's camp, reassign these workers to somewhere else. Ideally, they would start again doing stuff in the blight post. And yeah, we need to open up this dangerous glade after this storm. Okay. But one more building we can build here is the beacon tower. Again, we need bricks. This has some cool features that would allow us to fight an upcoming storm a bit better. But right now it looks like we need to rely on our coal for some part of the storm. Stamping mill is being built, which is nice. So level 2 is something we are struggling at the moment with. And if we take a look at what brings the hostility up to this, well, if we had one more Queen's Impatience level, we would actually be in level 1, so... But it's growing... Well, it's rare when we can complain about Queen's Impatience growing too slowly. But we will be going negative. And not lightly negative. So... brace for some losses, because this looks like a rough storm. Actually, like, let's check it out. If we do sacrifice, they're blocked. So the plague that we just got is that we are having a 100% longer storm, and sacrificing goods at the ancient hearth is banned. So our plan B is also not working. But if we do lose one villager, should take the hostility down by 1 level. It's still gonna be... It's gonna be okay for the beavers, but not for the rest of them. Minus 16. Yeah, it's rather rough, this hostility level. So Harpy, I'm sorry, but most likely we'll be sacrificing one of you. Yeah, it seems like there's no good options here. Okay, so I will assign one of the harpies to start making these packs of provisions, and we can make a bunch, I guess, even like 30-ish. Guess the herbs, well, we will get more for food later on, but for the time being they can just do their thing. Okay, so no sacrificing, no second hearth. Things are getting exciting. At least we're getting housing for everyone. So there's that. Okay, so we'll lose one harpy. They're also gonna kick the impatience close to... Well, that wasn't good actually. The glade event just got finished. Bringing our... Well, still, maybe the hostility will go back to level 1. Let's see in a moment. Okay, so we lost a harpy builder. And now the hostility... It seems like lizards will be okay. And beavers will be okay, but the harpies are not okay. They're missing one bonus point. So when it comes to... Maybe we can make them a little bit more comfortable. So that they would just be on the verge of being fine. Like if we built another herbalist camp, for example. Can we make harpies happy then? It can just be a temporary thing, you know. We have enough parts to do it. So one harpy will go from here. Where are the other harpies? So makeshift post. I'm sorry, but you probably do not want to make anything in the makeshift post. You just want to be in a cozy place to work at. Now, what's the situation with harpies? We have 5 of them. One of them is also in the druid's hut, but do they like it here? Yeah, they actually like it here. Which leaves me thinking, never mind the herbalist camp, we have a faster solution. No, please do not take it down. So 2 other harpies will go here. Let's see if it changes anything in the mathematics. Doesn't look like it, at least initially. Yeah, the harpies are still not okay. We're through half of the storm, so if we can just play around with the resolve a little bit, that would probably be okay. So we'll favor the harpies, leaving the beavers and lizards go into the negatives. But we have like +7 bonus. Yeah, they're missing like 1 point in order to be like okay with the storm. In the meantime, let's just take a quick look at the recipes we have access to. So jerky. So distillery would give us access to ale, incense, and pickled goods. Pickled goods is liked just by the... Well, actually the lizards and the beavers like pickled goods. Something to consider. Do we have everything we need for the pickled goods? We do not have a way to produce again the containers for the pickled goods. Then another option is to have jerky, which is a fine resource for the lizards and the harpies. And they would also provide us ways to make the pottery, but clay is a thing that we are not having an abundance of. Again, since we're producing herbs and also have wood, then we could get incense on the table. Yeah, so right now leaning towards the smokehouse. But we'll come back to this choice once we're done with the storm and having a little bit of a, I guess, more relaxing time to make more reasonable choices. Okay, so lizards resolve is into the negative numbers and they're counting down. There's only like 1 minute and a little bit more remaining. We definitely do not want to lose both a lizard and a harpy. We just have to pick a good moment to stop favoring the harpies. And I think that moment might just be now, because lizard's resolve is -2 already, so it takes a little bit of time before it goes back up. Yes, we know newcomers are waiting. All the rough news we have gotten in the past few minutes. So I'm still hoping maybe we can save the harpies. So they started again from scratch. So yes, no more harpies that will be removed from the settlement. Which means we did have to sacrifice one, unfortunately. But it's better than two, right? Trying to be optimistic here. Okay, so let's pause for a second. Cornerstone selection. So first of all, woodcutter sprayer. Since we don't have wood, this sounds relatively fascinating. So if we give away all of our 0 wood, we would get one extra to wood production. Then the economic migration. Rumor has it that your settlement is one of the wealthiest in the realm. Newcomers will arrive 50% quicker and bring 10% more goods for every one level of standings you have with other settlements. No, I haven't picked this one. I just don't. We don't need newcomers that fast anymore. And survivor bonding would kind of be like 10% village speed and 1 global resolve, which is relatively solid choice given the 1 resolve we were just missing. So it's between the woodcutter sprayer and survivor bonding. We can always put more woodcutters on the map, but this 1 extra global resolve is something we have to fight for, so let's go for survivor bonding. And we have newcomers waiting. Ooh, and what are you bringing along? So I know this pack here has less, well, people in it. So just 4, but this 30 stone is something that will help us make a bunch of bricks, isn't it? So yeah, we'll take 1 less settler, but all of those bricks are gonna be helpful. Okay, so makeshift post needs to get back in action. Packs of provisions are our priority so we can get our trade going. We do have a well-staffed crude workstation. We could use a beaver in the stamping mill, but since we don't have many beavers anyway, just have 1, then stamping mill will be staffed by this lizard. And please just use the grain to make the flour. We limit it to around 100. Also the bricks will from now on be made definitely within the stamping mill because the recipe is just so much better than the crude workstation. So I will also increase the importance of this recipe. Do we have anything to make the copper bars out of? Not really. So what I'm thinking is we remove 1 lizard from the crude workstation just to have 2 lizards work in the stamping mill. And let's also disable the recipe for the bricks in the crude workstation, though, so they'll be just making the fabric and the planks, mostly. Don't store the clay here. Okay, we can keep unpausing because things are about to start happening. So are purging fires being made? Yes, they are. So our hostility is greatly into the hostility level 2 territory. And we do not really have any ways of mitigating it besides, well, sacrificing and another hearth. We must be careful with how many new villagers we accept at this point. And also maybe look into ways how to provide better services or more complex food for the people of our settlement. Okay, one of our main things that we would like to have sorted is this small warehouse, because all of these woodcutters over here are just walking like a ridiculous distance right now. Actually, let's just move them closer to the main warehouse. So once this small warehouse is built, we'll be focusing on the new hearth. Can actually even place it already. Place it over here. This hearth will be occupied by the lizard. We will also move some shelters closer to this hearth. And what else we need is just 1 park. Try to make it, well, place it structurally correct. Okay, so we'll build a little bit more of the roads around the hearth. The shelters will go to the left side of the hearth, oh well, southwest from our perspective. So the purging fires are now ready, but we're kind of like dealing with some other situation that we do not want the orders to be accepted too quickly. Because we want to keep the Queen's impatience at a relatively high level. And this is something that will help us counter the hostility levels rising, along with this hearth right here. So it looks like the stamping mill is doing a decent job at converting stone and clay into bricks. We'll take it. And finally our hearth is going up. So we probably can just bring like 3 shelters from the initial hearth to the new one. We had three free workers. What can we make them do? So we have some trading to do actually before that. We don't want to give away our food, and we don't have any other food options right now. So we'll be waiting for the clearance season for the next set of trading offers. Now the small warehouse has been completed, and I believe it's time for the woodcutters to start cutting towards the next glades. Yeah, we can put it here. So let's go through, well, straight from the hearth here. Okay, hold Farloaf. We have some amber for you if you have something to offer us as well. Something that will help us in the future. So, well, one consideration is stone again. I don't see many usage for crystallized dew at the moment. And when we look at the perks and, well, abilities, etc. down here, then the shovels would make villagers move 10% faster on the roads. Also, surveying equipment would help us see a little bit into the undiscovered glades, and the copper bar production boost. We're not making any copper bars right now. Yeah, the only question is there anything more relevant right now than the stone? Like this dye. What did we need the dye for? We need the dye for the druid's hut and in order to make the tea, wasn't it? Actually, the coats. And the coats would be used by just the beavers. Dye is something we can also consider. How much can we get for 20 amber? In terms of stone, we can grab everything, and in terms of dyes, we can grab 32. Also, something worth considering is the coal, because we might have to do some sacrificing within the upcoming storm. Should probably actually maximize what we can get in terms of how much coal. So 16. And that sounds like a decent set of preparations. And what I will also do is stop the clothing from being used, or the coats, because we need them for the upcoming storm. Please use leather for making the coats, if anything. Do we have any workstations that need to be... Well, I cannot say manned, lizarded, harpied, beavered. And we will move these woodcutters also closer to our destination. Well, it's kind of crowded right now. Can you even... Well, I guess you can cut some of these trees at the beginning over here. Okay, so... I will let the game go running in the background and just take a little bit more time with our choice for what we want to pick next. Could also just reroll for free, because I mean there's no brilliant option. There is of course the weaver for boots. It's not the best recipe, given especially that we only have like 20 leather, but it would help us forward. There's like no like, yeah, I want to pick this one for sure. So maybe let's take our reroll and let's see what we can get from there. So Clothier, would give us better code recipe, which not ideal. It does give us water skins, worth considering, but not the great like added bonus. We can get access to the dye here in the tinctury. And again, we cannot make any ale because we don't have containers, and also the same goes for the wine. So yeah, still not like ready to make a choice right now. Because I guess the choice pool is not something that has anything really appetizing. So we do get one more order to pick for well. Yeah, this cups and glasses is relatively high stakes in terms of not making it, because we need to be able to make ale and also have the tavern. Yeah, unlikely, but probably finding the 3 ancient tablets and opening up 4 glades is something we will be able to do, plus also wildfire essences for another potential hearth. That's the choice we'll be making at the moment. So next storm is in 3.5 minutes. Woodcutters are really taking their sweet time here. I don't think there's like enough space for another woodcutter camp. Ah, actually, this one we can get really close here. Okay, and a building that will help us potentially in the upcoming storm is this beacon tower. We'll build it somewhere on the side here, not to mess with our building plans. Okay, so we did find the seal. And the next storm that is awaiting for us is the Plague of Blindness. So all villagers move 50% slower and have a 50% chance of destroying a production yield. Not too bad. And now we have to start dealing with quests or tasks for the ancient seal, and taking a look at, like, they're always the standard choice, or well, there are 3 sets of them, and we need to complete 1 from each set. And given our current situation, we don't really have any caches to open or send, and we do not have too many, I guess, pipes to pipe 8 buildings, or we don't have enough buildings to pipe that. But perhaps this Heart of the Amber is something to go for, so we just need 12 packs of crops, 12 packs of provisions, and 12 packs of building materials. It's relatively easy for us to do. We just have to make sure we have, well, let's have 2 harpies working towards this goal. Also, I will limit all of these to 12. And then, yeah, well, the planks have to be sacrificed for the packs of building materials. We do have enough grain to kind of take care of the packs of crops. And also the herbs are there and also being gathered at the moment in the clearance season. Also, there is some trading option here, but since we're trying to start the seal task relatively quickly, I don't think we should focus on that now. So we have the Forgotten Temple of the Sun Dangerous Glade event also on our hands. And we have a way of solving it to praise the sun. The consequences of not doing it is that destroys all trade goods in the warehouse. Packs of goods, amber and ancient tablets. Well, we don't have any amber. At the moment. It's okay if it triggers, I think. Then again, like packs of goods, amber and ancient tablets. The problem, I guess, is that if those packs of goods we need for the seal, but if we lose them before that, we have some time to see if we can make, well, complete the seal task before the packs of goods will disappear. In terms of resources, we have here another algae pond. Actually, we didn't have an algae pond. We had a copperfin trout pond. Algae pond would give us algae and herbs. We have a large copperfin trout pond. Not exactly amazing in terms of resources again. So yeah. No clay, no stone, no breed. Well, algae can be used, but also plant fiber can be used for the fabric, so that's okay. Food is running quite fast now towards the 0 number. Not the most perfect direction. We do have 30 coats ready for beavers. Well, our one beaver is gonna be using all 30 of them, right? Actually, no. Harpies also can take advantage of the coats, which is brilliant news because harpies are the most sensitive towards the storm taking down their resolve levels. Okay, so we have the hearth here, and we need like 8 villagers to move in. So we'll just take maybe how many buildings we need. Like we need at least 3 shelters here. So there's 3 villagers living here. This one is empty, and this one has just 1. Okay, so we'll need even more to be moved towards this hearth. Make like a suburb over here. 1 more goes here. So we should be good now. Okay, so this hearth is also level 1 now, giving us 1 extra global resolve. So we're picking up resolve points from where we can right now. And yeah, probably the choices we had before the reroll were better as always. It's okay. We already have 1 order in store, which will give us another blueprint choice. Now the important thing is to do the seal events as soon as possible. Now to my knowledge, we do not have to have like 14 reputation points in order to complete this map. We just have to do all the 3 layers of the seal tasks. The next one will be very focused on the how to get resolved though. So it's either from the orders or I think it was the orders or just having high resolve for all the villagers of our settlement. So you could hear the storm already coming. We'll enable the code usage already, so at least for the harpies the resolve starts picking up quite quickly, hopefully. Now we do have to keep an eye on this timer though, because this 5 minutes will go by relatively quickly. We have a bunch of packs of goods we're still missing. Actually don't even want to risk it. Let's praise the sun. So the only free builder we have will be going here. We'll make the lizard tree though. Okay, so we have hostility level 2. Can check the trade routes as well. Even though we do not want to get rid of our packs of provisions just yet. So how is the resolve going? Not too bad to be fair. But if we do start sacrificing coal, for example, we have everybody happy for the time being. And we'll keep it like that for however many seconds this coal will last us. So probably throughout most of the storm actually. How are we doing with the other orders beyond the seal tasks? So if we had 1 harvester camp and 1 stone cutter camp, we could finish up the objective of camps, giving us clay, reed and parts. We have enough parts to make both of these camps, just for the order to be finished. So yeah, we do. Okay, good to know. That's something we can just pick up if we ever running into too high levels of impatience. Okay, so we have 20 coal remaining. We're halfway through the storm. I'm even thinking about stopping sacrificing this coal because even if the resolve goes negative, it takes around a minute for the villagers to start leaving. So yeah, let's make it this way.